Hi, welcome in, and I can't wait to show you this one today. As drummers, we know that groove, time, and sound is of the utmost importance, but sometimes we need chops and some flashy stuff, specifically designed to melt faces. This is for drummers who are looking to build their 30-second note fill vocabulary with impressive flurries down the toms, dynamics, and nice clean rolls on the snare. The source at the end of your solo to bring the heat and end with intention, confidence, and attitude. You can also use this as a standalone 30-second note fill. And, by the way, to be the first to know what's happening at Fer Griffin Drums, get special discounts, updates, and much more, you can sign up to my newsletter. You'll find the link in the description below. In this video, I'll start by breaking down the first half, which focuses on the tom flurry. I'll show you how you can use it in different situations and how just repeating this pattern will immediately open up some killer 30-second note fill ideas for you to try. Then we'll look at the second half, which includes a little trick that I see a lot of the pros use. It's one of those things that's hard to notice, but once you see it and you know what it is, you'll see it everywhere, played by the very best drummers in the world. So, make sure you stay tuned for that. Question of the day. What are your go-to patterns for 30-second note fills? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you like to use. So, for the first half, let's have a look at what's going on. The thing that makes this sound outstanding is the dynamics. So, make sure to really focus on which notes are loud and which notes are quiet as I go through this. The first pattern is the paradiddle-diddle. We will only accent the first note, which will be played on the floor tom. To make it a group of 8, let's add right-left at the end of it. And that left, the last note, is going to be accented. Let's practice that first so we can get that down. And remember, be patient with yourself, even with things like this. To make this all sound clean and smooth, even at 50 BPM, is not easy. Be sure to use your wrists as you play doubles at this speed to give yourself control. Great, so now we've got that down, let's add the second part to it. The second part of this first half is going to be the flurry down the toms. This is something I love seeing drummers playing, and up to speed, it sounds like every drummer's dream, right? All this is going to be is snare, snare, rack, rack, tom 2, floor, floor. If you don't have 2 toms, play snare, rack, and 6 notes on the floor tom. That's how it's notated as well. It sounds cool to accent the first note of this on the snare, but accenting the first 2 or both snare notes can sound nice as well. Let's practice that at 50 BPM so you can see it in action. So, if you put both those beats together, you already get a killer 30-second note piece of drumming vocabulary. I'll demonstrate the version with 2 toms first, and then go into the single rack version at 50 BPM, so it's easy to see what's going on. If you want to see it fast, jump back to the intro section of this video, and it's the first half of the full fill. Great, so now we're on to the second half. The second half is going to be a classic paradiddle-diddle lick that you've probably heard before, but it's got that secret trick in that all the pros use. I'll be sure to show you that, and this in itself will be a great fill too. So, if you're struggling to get the first half up to speed, at least you'll have this to use, so there should be a lot of value in this video. Comment below, like, and subscribe if you're enjoying anything so far. It helps me so much, and I'm so grateful to every one of you who does. First of all we're going to play is 2 paradiddle-diddles with the first right accented into 4 single strokes. The secret trick for this, to make it sound more exciting, is to accent that last single stroke, the left hand before smacking the crash on the 1. Once I play this for you, you will see it everywhere. The top soloist drummers use this all the time, just as a standalone single stroke phrase. So be sure to practice it on its own, outside of the paradiddle-diddles too. For the orchestration, the first note of the first paradiddle-diddle will be played on the floor tom. The first note of the second paradiddle-diddle will be played on the ride with the bass drum underneath it. The first note of the 4 singles will be on the floor, and the remaining 3 singles will be played on the snare, and that's where to accent that last left. Awesome. So now we've got all the parts for our face melter. Remember, both halves of this fill can be used independently, either as 16th note fills or combined with other patterns that you know well to create your own killer 32nd note licks. Yes, we all have access to only the same patterns in drumming, but how we use them and what order we play them in is how we can come up with something novel. As drummers, let's never stop innovating and getting better and better. This is what gives the drumming industry new life and is exactly how to make sure new tracks that come out don't just sound the same as what we've heard before. I'll demonstrate the whole lick for you at 50 BPM, 90 BPM, and 105 BPM. If you struggle to get it to 105 BPM, don't worry. This lick will sound great at 90.